This week on Theme Park Worldwide, the show, as virtual reality seems to be taking off even more in 2016, we take a closer look at 9 more rides set to receive the VR technology in 2016. Along with that, I've got news from Fantasy Island, the Disneyland resorts, and a brand new Nintendo theme park coming to Universal Studios Japan. My name's Shawn Sanbrooke, this is Theme Park Worldwide, the show, and that means it's time to cue those titles. And as always, a very warm welcome to this week's episode of the show here from the one and only world of theme parks. Hope you've all had a good week. It's been quite a busy week for the channel. We've had quite a lot of new videos go online, including our on and off ride videos, and of course the one and only top 10 roller coasters video done by myself here at the World of Theme Parks. It seems like a lot of you are quite surprised by some of the answers. Maybe not the top 2 or 3 coasters in there, but if you've not seen it, basically it's me counting down my top 10 favourite roller coasters from anywhere across the world. Like I said, there's a few surprises in there. Some rides didn't make it in like you would expect, but like I say, it's worth checking out. Like I say, it's called the top 10 roller coasters of Theme Park Worldwide, and you can find that here on the channel that was posted last week. Like I say, we've got quite a bit to come up with news this week, loads going on, so I think we should kick straight in, don't you? It's time for a little bit of news off the rails. Now, I seem to be talking about this quite a lot so far in 2016. It is virtual reality roller coasters, and of course it all started really with Europa Park when they launched it on their mine train, the Alpen Express, back in 2015. Of course, we've got Galactica at Alton Towers opening in a couple of weeks' time, which is a full virtual reality experience, rethemed to their flying coaster Air. But it's just been announced this week that 9 new roller coasters across the Six Flags chain over in America are set to receive virtual reality experiences in 2016. I asked the question a couple of weeks ago in the show, back in the first episode, what do you all think to virtual reality? It was quite a mixed sort of response with that, and it's something that I'm quite interested to see. Obviously, I've only done the one so far. I'll be there to do Galactica in a couple of weeks, but in terms of virtual reality, I'm not too sure on it all really. If it's a complete experience, then fair enough, it's great, but is it something that's just going to die off in a couple of years? Is it a bit of a gimmick on some of these other rides? So basically, Six Flags has said it's going to be placed on 9 roller coasters across the chain, and they're all going to wear the Samsung Gear VR-powered Oculus headsets, which if you've worn an Oculus headset before, you'll know how awesome they are. They are great, but in terms of on a roller coaster, I'm not too sure on it. Yes, it's modern. It's something I'm looking forward to trying more of this year. But let's sort of see how it goes. So of course, before I go through the rides it's going to be launched on, Six Flags, there might be 9 coasters, but they're only launching 2 different VR videos, so to speak. So the first ones are all themed, of course, around Superman. They're going on 3 of the Superman coasters. So they've got Superman Krypton Coaster at Six Flags Fiesta, Texas, Superman the Ride at Six Flags New England, and Superman Ride of Steel at Six Flags America. They're all set to feel a 360-degree comic book style VR experience, based on the world of Metropolis, of course, from Superman, and guests will be taking on a leisurely, or so they think, tour of the city of Metropolis. It sounds like it's going to be quite interesting. Yes, I like the films. Superman's got a good sort of brand to it. However, I'm not sure. Some of these rides are great as they are on their own, and they don't really need virtual reality experiences adding to them, in my opinion. But we'll see how that goes. Unlike Galactica at Alton Towers, as far as we know, these are literally just going to be headsets placed on the ride. It's not going to be a whole experience where the ride is specifically being themed to virtual reality. Well, that's them ones. This one sounds a bit more up my street. It's a pilot fighter jet battle against alien invaders. This sounds good. This is going to the other parks then. This is going to Shockwave, Six Flags over Texas, Daredevil Dive at Six Flags Over Georgia, Ninja at Six Flags St. Louis, Steaming Demon at the Great Escape, Goliath at La Ronde, and yeah, it's going to be good to see what happens. I'm sure we're going to get to see some of you guys going out there. Of course, Theme Park Worldwide does have a lot of viewers from across the world, especially over in the USA, and I want you guys to go out there for me and ride some of these and let me know what you think. Send in what you think of these awesome experiences. Of course, you can contact us via email, interact@themeparkworldwide.co.uk, or on our Facebook and Twitter pages. Let us know what you think to these rides. Maybe send in a picture with a review, and it'd be great for me to read some of these out later in the year as they open. Like I say, it's interesting to see, and we're going to be following it very closely here on the channel to sort of see how they compare to each other. How does Galactica compared to the Alpine Express at Europa Park? And of course, Europa Park are launching it on Pegasus as well, one of their other junior coasters for this year. So there's quite a bit of VR going to be coming around. And is it here to stay, or is it just a gimmick for the next couple of years? We'll soon find out. But I do think what Galactica has done at Alton Towers has shown that it shouldn't just be virtual reality headsets placed on. It should be a whole experience themed around it, like they've done with Space Theme on that. I think it's going to be good to see. So we'll definitely sort of work this out over the next few weeks, really. We'll start to see what is virtual reality and is it really going to start taking over our theme parks the way we know them at the moment. So that's that one. Next up then, Fantasy Island, located in Ingall just outside of Skegness. Great theme park that I've visited for quite a few years. It's got some brilliant theming in there as well. Of course, you've got the main sort of pyramid, which has got some great theming inside, like the rock work, with the water ride coming down, like a dinghy slide. That's fantastic. Outside you've got two really good coasters. You've got the Millennium and of course the Odyssey, both in Vekoma. Two great rides, but when they're open, that's a problem that we've had quite a bit due to its location. Fantasy Island, of course, it's near the seaside. It does get quite windy. But we've heard that the Odyssey has had a sort of station built around it now. What there was there before, it was literally some walls and a roof. Now they've actually blocked the walls in, and apparently so they're putting heaters on the track in the stations to sort of warm the wheels up to help it run better in windy conditions. We look forward to seeing this. Of course, we're at Fantasy Island this weekend on the channel. Look forward to sharing a vlog with you guys, and of course next week on the show I'll talk a little bit about that as well and what we've seen. But it's great to see. So what they've got is brand new owners. It's basically the Mellors Group that now run the park, which is awesome to see. So of course they've done all these refurbishments over winter, and we've all thought, hang on a minute, wasn't this park in administration back in August 2014? And it was, but it looks like they've had Mellors as an owner for quite a while now, but this has been kept quite under wraps. This is what I'm seeing from it, because we've seen all this repaints and stuff going on. They've moved the Fantasy Mouse around the back. But it sounds like there's going to be some new rides going in. But Mellors basically operate a theme park in Dubai, along with plenty of other travelling rides throughout the UK. They also take quite a few rides to Hyde Park Winter Wonderland, Nottingham Winter Wonderland, and a few other places around the country. But it sounds really promising. This is a quote from the managing director, James Mellor, and he said, "It's a very exciting time for our company as we've seen strong growth in events business throughout the region and abroad. We pride ourselves on delivering the highest standard of attractions, and with some very, very interesting investment plans and new rides of Fantasy Island in the near future." The key things obviously I take from that is new rides and near future. That's what that part needs. I'm hoping that they've put Fantasy Mouse around the back by the Odyssey, so that we're going to see a new ride put on the front. It's right by the road. People are going to see it. I said this a couple of episodes back, and let's hope it happens. But the fact that we've now got new owners, Mellors Group are in there, we look forward to visiting the park at the weekend and start to see this changeover. I'm really hoping that operations are a little bit better than they used to be. Operations have been quite bad in the past. So I hope that, well, we had a great visit last year, but I remember the year before wasn't that great. So hopefully it's going to be something good. I look forward to seeing what happens at Fantasy Island over the coming years. Now, Nintendo. A lot of people love Nintendo. And of course, they're set to open a theme park at Universal Studios Japan in 2020. Hot off the press, this news literally released a couple of days back. It's got a £250 million budget. And you're going to see famous sort of Nintendo characters in there like Mario, Luigi, Zelda, Donkey Kong, and various different Pokemon. That's what we're expecting to see in this brand new theme park. It's set to open just in time for the Olympic Games in Tokyo in 2020. The park's located around 300 miles from Tokyo, so it'll definitely capitalise, if they get it open ready for the Games, on visitors. I'm sure they're not going to struggle anyway. Universal Japan, they're going to be getting people down there anyway, but this will definitely bring people in. So it'd be good to see. So that's the Nintendo part. We'll keep you up to date when construction stuff starts happening over at Universal Studios Japan. Bit of news then from the Disneyland Resort in Anaheim, California. Of course, we was there back in January. We had a great time. If you've not seen the vlogs, make sure you check them out. Me and Alex had a great time. You know, obviously that was our second trip in 6 months because we were also there in September last year in 2015, where we fell in love with the place and went back in January for even more Disneyland fun. Of course, when we were there, you might have seen in the vlog, they were building the brand new ride, Luigi's Rollicking Roasters, and that opened Monday just gone, so on the 7th of March. Basically, you ride in cartoon Italian roadsters and dance around sort of Luigi's backyard. It looks quite good. They've got all lights and bunting and stuff hanging over it. But what's unique about this? It's using Disney's latest generation trackless system. So similar to what's used on Ratatouille at Disneyland Paris. In fact, it was first introduced on Winnie the Pooh, Pooh's Honey Hot at Tokyo Disneyland. And then, of course, it was launched on Hong Kong Disneyland's Mystic Manor, which looks absolutely awesome. It's a different take on Phantom Manor or the Haunted Mansion. You know, it looks absolutely awesome, and one day I will get out there to go and see that over at Hong Kong. And then, of course, the last one to be there was Ratatouille. A great ride, but still, in my opinion, even when it opened, it was quite dated. I think it took that long for them to build it and come up with the concept that by the time it came out, Ratatouille is a little bit outdated. Still a great ride, but was it worth the wait and was it worth the cost? I'd probably say it wasn't, looking back on it now. But yeah, it uses this trackless system. It looks great. Basically, as you go around the ride, it's the dance and to the different music, which is really good. It makes it more fun for people off-ride as well. You can sort of watch it, and they've got loads of different sequences and things. Looks really, really good. And of course, we'll get out there in the future to go and try that again when we go back to California. I'm sure we will in the next few years here on the channel. Not all news then, just from Disneyland. Of course, Frozen is set to come in with a brand new stage show at the Hyperion Theatre in California Adventure. That's set to launch, Disney have announced, on May the 27th. Of course, it's going to be in the same theatre. It looks great, and it's basically replacing Aladdin. You know, there's no way of putting around it. Aladdin was an absolutely outstanding show. I saw it for the first time in September. I saw it for the last time in January. I'm sad that that show's gone. A lot of you might go to the parks just for the rides, but if you've been to a Disney park, you'll know how they put on these massive nighttime spectaculars and shows and parades, and Aladdin's one of the best ones I've seen. Out of the 3 Disney resorts that I've been to, it was one of the best, if not the best stage show. So I'm looking forward to seeing the Frozen show. The Hyperion Theatre is huge. You can see a couple of thousand people. And I'm sure it's going to be great to see. Like I said, it opens May the 27th, so we'll get to see reviews. I'm sure there'll be a few videos on YouTube, what people have put on from that, so we'll get to see it. But Aladdin was running for 13 years, you know. I mean, obviously I only saw it for a few months, but I can imagine people were quite upset to see that go after 13 years. But you got to look at on the other side, Frozen's the biggest hit Disney have had in years, and they're capitalising on that with a big new show, so we'll have to see how that goes. But also, for the first time in forever, a Frozen sing-along, that is closing down on April the 17th, so just over a month to go, really. You've got that one until that shuts down, ready for the big new stage show. That's all from Disneyland. Back over to Alton Towers then. It was announced just after we filmed last week's show that the Smiler roller coaster is going to be reopening at Alton Towers next week, next Saturday on the 19th of March. So I'm sure a lot of you will be excited to get back to Alton Towers and ride on the Smiler. The ride first opened in 2013 and it still holds the world record for 14 inversions on a roller coaster. That's more than any other coaster out there in the world. So an impressive statistic for you. I know a lot of you didn't have a chance to ride the Smiler before it closed last year, so a lot of you will be going to Alton Towers, I'm sure, and riding it, and we look forward to seeing your photos, so make sure you send them in for us here on the channel throughout the year. Finally then, I just thought I'd show you a little bit of Valorant at Cedar Point. This thing looks crazy. They've been building it all winter. It's a B&M dive coaster. It's actually the tallest, fastest and longest dive coaster ever built by B&M. And if you don't know your manufacturers that well, B&M, they did rides such as Oblivion the Black Hole at Gardaland, Crake at Heidi Park, and of course our very own Oblivion at Alton Towers here in the UK. So look at this, and a few pictures for you. 214 foot drop on this beast. It looks absolutely awesome. 3,415 feet of track with a 165 foot tall Immelman loop. I mean, it looks absolutely crazy. I can't wait to one day go out to Cedar Point and ride that. Again, hopefully in the next few years I'll get out there, do that along with some of the other parks over in America. Looks absolutely awesome. I just thought I'm going to have to show you these construction pictures. It looks great. And thank you very much for Cedar Point for sort of releasing them for us to share here on the show. That's it for this week on News Off the Rails. It's now time for me to interact with you and interact with me. Does that make any sense? But let's just roll with it. Bit Been a busy week for Interact with me. I've had loads sent in, loads of photos, loads of shout outs, and it's really good that you've all found the time to send in something for us here on Theme Park Worldwide, the show. So let's go through what we've had then. First up, you've got Reese Langham with an Ice Blast on-ride photo from Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Thank you very much for sending that in for me there, Reese. Next up then, you've got Archie Stephen with a Flume on-ride photo. Oh, as I mentioned last week, the Flume has now retired at Alton Towers, but what will replace it? Let's hope that it's another secret weapon in the next couple of years. So thank you very much for sharing that with us here on the show. Gail's got a Valhalla photo there. It looks like you're having a good time at Blackpool. Quite a few photos from Blackpool already. Great to see you enjoying Valhalla, one of my favourite water rides / dark rides there is out there in the country. So thank you very much for that one. Jay's got a photo with me from the turnstiles from last year, so thank you very much for sending that in. Mark Lewis, friend of the channel, he's been in a couple of vlogs from Oakwood. We'll be down there again this summer to see him. There he is with his tattoo from Megaphobia. It's the wooden coaster located at Oakwood. I mean, look at that, absolutely crazy. That man's got some dedication to that ride. Thousands of rides he's had on it, so thank you very much, Mark, for sharing that with us on the show. John Cross has got a photo outside the Hogwarts Castle. Can't wait to be back at the Wisdom World in September. It's going to be great. 18 days of live updates here on Theme Park Worldwide with plenty of vlogs. Hope you're looking forward to it as much as I am. Thank you very much for the photo. David Walker with a Pirates of the Caribbean on-ride photo from Disneyland Paris. Oh, I love Pirates of the Caribbean. One of my favourite dark rides there is out there, so thank you for sharing that with me. Really makes me want to go back to Paris, that one. Owen Thompson with a photo with Patrick at Universal, so thanks for that. Ethan Jones with a Thought Park plaque made at school. When I was at school, I did art, and I made like a sort of mosaic monorail from Alton Towers, and it got me an A, so I was quite pleased. But thank you very much for sending that in. Looks really good. Next up, you've got Paul here and his dad on Vampire. There you go, look, they're having a good time on that. What a classic, absolutely love it. And then finally, Tyler Webb with a Runaway Mine Train on-ride photo. Thank you very much for sending in all your photos, but it's now time for the shout-outs for this week. Now, I've got a good friend who watches this show. She tunes in every week, or she says she tunes in every week. And she's called Beth Cornford, and I know it's her birthday this week, and Dan's probably making you watch this, but a very, very happy birthday to you from myself here at Theme Park Worldwide. I hope you enjoy the videos as much as you say you do, but there you go. Thank you for watching. Thanks for your dedication to the channel. So this is something for you. Happy birthday. You're a really good friend. And I'll see you soon. She's going to be incoming with some vlogs this year, so you get to see Beth. Really nice girl. And of course, I look forward to seeing you again soon. Okay, all the shout outs then go to Jaden, Ben, Alice, Amber, Dylan, BT Does Gaming, Thorpe Towers HD. Happy 16th birthday to Matthew Baker. So hi out there to you. Happy birthday. R. Jonesy, Stacey Smith. Happy 20th birthday to Daniel Froggatt. Happy birthday to Zoe Lee. Happy birthday to Johnny Green. Happy birthday to all of you three. Have a fantastic time for us here at Theme Park Worldwide. Greer White, Lethal Gamer, Tom Lander, and Jenny Cousins. Whew, that was a big interact. I did quite well, but it wasn't enough. Keep sending them in. interact@themeparkworldwide.co.uk is the email you need to send them to. interact@themeparkworldwide.co.uk. Or if you don't want to email us, you can send them in as a Facebook message on our official Facebook page, Theme Park Worldwide. Drop it a search, drop us a like, and there you go. You'll be able to find out all the latest theme park news and, of course, links to our latest videos here on the channel. That's nearly it then for this week's episode of the show. Next week, I'll be revealing the full details on our first Theme Park Worldwide event, set to be held at Drayton Manor Theme Park. It's going to be great. I said a couple of weeks ago in the first episode of the show that I'd have the date for you, and next week I'm going to be revealing it all. It's going to be great, and it's going to be awesome to see as many of you as we can out there at our first event at Drayton Manor. We did a small event at Alton Towers a few years back. They were great, but this is a real opportunity. The channel's grown a lot over the past couple of years. It's a real opportunity for all of you, one, to be in a vlog or just meet any of us from Theme Park Worldwide, to spend the day with us at Drayton Manor for our first event. Don't worry if you can't make it to that one though. There is going to be two more events later in the year, one at Thorpe Park and also one at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Of course, this weekend we've got live updates from Fantasy Island and of course Drayton Manor as well, so we'll have live updates on Twitter at ThemeParkWW and on our Facebook page, and along with that we'll have a vlog on the channel next week too. I've been Shawn Sanbrooke. Thank you for watching Theme Park Worldwide, the show, and that means it's time to cue those credits. See you later guys, have a great week.